Christina Brown here with the Brown team at eXp Realty. Let's go over 5 common buyer myths. So, myth number 1, you must put 20% down. That is completely false. You do not have to put 20% down. It did used to be a fact. It is not the way it is. It's not been that way for a long time. In fact, if you are a first-time home buyer, you may even be able to get a loan program with no money down. So there are certain times when certain places will have grant money and different things to help offset and help cover some of those down payment expenses for you. So that's based on area typically. Also, USDA offers a great loan program if you're looking at something rural, like for our area, it would be Oak Grove, Odessa, Pleasant Hill, those areas that are more rural and less populated. So that is a great loan program. And if you're a first-time home buyer, good old conventional offers a 3% down payment program. So many banks and local financial institutions also run all sorts of different programs and things as well. So definitely do your homework. You do not have to put 20% down. However, the thing to remember is anytime you put down less than 20%, you are required to pay mortgage insurance. That is something to keep in mind, but you don't have to save and save and save and save and save forever. Just determined to hit that 20% because in the meantime, if you're renting, you're throwing money into somebody else's pocket. So get into one of these lower programs and then just start paying down your mortgage, and that mortgage insurance can disappear. The next myth, myth number 2, the seller will pay your closing costs. Well, maybe they will, but it's not a guarantee. So you have to remember that sellers have their own closing costs that they have to pay, and buyers have their own closing costs. Buyers' closing costs are always the buyer's responsibility. However, if it's a slower market or a home that's harder to sell or a home that's been on the market for a while, or you find a motivated seller, you may be able to get that seller to pay for your closing costs. So it's a maybe. It depends. It depends on timing of year, how competitive is the market, how active is the house or the property that you're interested in, how willing is that seller. So a lot of other factors go into it. It may happen, but it's not necessarily a guarantee. Myth number 3, you don't need a home inspection. That is completely false. You don't know anything about that home. Often a home inspector will find things that even the homeowners don't even know is wrong with the house. And your chance to renegotiate and get repairs taken care of or price reductions to help you make repairs have to be done during this inspection contingency. You have to have a licensed professional inspector come and do that inspection in order to have the right to renegotiate. So always money well spent, and typically the money you spend on inspections, the inspector finds more wrong with the house than what you're spending on inspections, so we can negotiate to even recover that cost in that sense. So you should know what you're buying before you sign on the dotted line, because guess what? Once you sign your closing paperwork, it doesn't matter what is found. It is your responsibility. You're the new owner. So do your due diligence and do a home inspection. I don't just recommend this for first-time home buyers, and I don't just recommend it for resale properties. Even new construction, always do a home inspection. Myth number 4, you should wait and buy in the spring. There's pros and cons to that. You'll have maybe more options, but you're also competing against a whole lot more people. So in the spring, we see a huge uptick in activity. There's a lot more buyers coming out of the woodwork as the weather gets nicer, but that also means that prices are higher. That also means interest rates are higher. And like I said, you're competing against many more people, and that can also drive up prices even more. Plus, as I mentioned earlier, if you're renting, you're just padding your landlord's pocket by staying put longer. So when you're ready to buy, that's when you should buy. Don't wait until spring or summer. Buy when you're ready, buy before your lease is up, work all that out. And then myth number 5, the final myth, is you don't need a real estate agent. That is completely false. I could tell you story after story where people have made mistakes and they greatly regret it. So the first thing is, talk to a real estate professional sooner rather than later, because we can also hook you up with a reputable lender, get you set up with your credit, make sure your credit score is where it should be, and so that way we can help work out your timing, so when you're ready or before your lease is up, we can time it all out and help walk you through that path. But also, buyers think they're saving money if they don't have a real estate agent. The problem is you're seeking after property that's listed in the MLS typically, and therefore an agent is already involved, and that agent will get paid double to work against you, because when that agent lists that property for the seller, they're also signing paperwork that they are representing and looking out and doing everything they can in their seller's best interest, working against the buyer. And if that's you that doesn't have an agent, then they know what they're doing and you probably don't, and therefore they're working against you, unbeknownst to you, even if they're the sweetest person in the world. But the other part of that is when they sign that agreement with that seller is agreeing to pay the full commission for 2 agents. If only one agent is involved, that one agent gets all of it. It does not reduce the fees, it does not help you in any way. That agent just gets paid double to completely work against you the whole time. So it does not cost you anything extra to have your own agent that has your back, that's looking out for you, because the seller is paying for that anyway. So don't go to the listing agent. Hire your own agent that you trust, and the seller is paying for it. So why not? All right, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, anything that we can help you with, feel free to reach out and go out and buy that house.